Hello everybody, and welcome back to Roads Get Traveled. We are here with Marrowyn. He was helping us out today. He was being rather kind. He's a good pupper, right? He's a very good pupper, but he's escorted us all the way back to our room. Morrow's room, let's see what's gonna happen. I'm shocked he's comfortable enough to walk into Morrow's room like this. I know they all kind of know each other, but I've barely been able to see them interact for most of the week. Do you think you'll be okay until Doc shows up? Probably not, but then again, I feel like I should wash off, and he doesn't need to be around for that. I think I'm just gonna try to get cleaned up, so don't feel like you have to stick around. Are you sure? Yeah. No, really, well, I'm not trapped in some weird labyrinth being chased by a monster anymore, so, all things considered, I'm doing much better. If you say so. He turns to leave, and my heart almost gives out jumps out of my chest. I can't stop myself as I lurch forward. Thank you for today. Snapping up their paw, my hand betrays as I begin to shake. This again, kid. Come on, you're okay now, right? Even if you ain't, you're safe now, I promise. Look, I'll stick around outside until Doc shows up, okay? So you go do whatever aliens do in the bathroom, and if you need anything, just call, got it? And I live like 2 doors down, so if you ever need me, I'm always pretty close by. Getting down on one knee, he takes me by the shoulders. Okay. His blue eyes look me up and down before he releases the tension with a scoff and pats my head. After that, he heads out, and I hear him slump against the outer wall. I'm glad to have friends like them around here. I guess that's the word for it. I wonder if they see it that way too. I took a shower, I cleaned the bed. Hell, I even organized the laundry, and he's not even here yet. That must have been one hell of a meeting. Probably something to do with the Sulknos mission headed this way. Who's to say what that's even about at this point? I wonder if I could ask them about the ghosts. Nah. Tyre said they probably won't even know that it exists. That I exist, sorry. And if they don't even know aliens exist, they probably don't know shit about ghosts. So many strange things. I have a feeling it wasn't always this weird, but I shouldn't be taking notes at this point. I should be writing a fucking book. The first alien bestseller in all of Alren. It'd be trashy, of course, but it's not like I have the best material to work with. I wonder if they have cheesy novellas here too. I could seriously go for some light reading. I doubt they'd spend valuable resources translating anything like that, though. I miss all my shitty books. This sucks. I guess I could at least get up and... Look, it's Marrowyn. Look, he's here. It's been a minute. Look, he's here, guys. The door bursts open, and a very worried Karen comes rushing in. But Marrowyn? Oh, by the fucking heart. There you are. He storms me, immediately taking me in his arms and crushing me against the back of my bed. It takes a moment for my frozen form to thaw into his embrace. I imagine his heart would be beating out of his chest if it could. Instead, I just share his warmth. And by the eye, is he warm. I feel his breath shoot down my back as his paws push and pull against my exposed skin. Holding me as close as I can, I rest my head in the crook of his neck. I'm so sorry.
Shush, shush! I'm not upset. I could never be.
And I grip tighter. There's only a moment of silence before he backs off, wiping his eyes and correcting his glasses. He looks kind of... Oh, he looks so kind. That's what that says. He is so kind. Rubbing my arm as if to check I'm real, he sighs and leans back. So, how are you? How was your morning? He slaps his gut as he lets out a bellowing laugh. I guess he liked that one.
Better than yours from what I've heard, but I must say, not great.
I wonder how much of that was my fault.
I was so worried that you... I'm just so glad to see that you're alright. It's been so rough, a rough few days, Tucker, for both of us.
Yeah. I turn away, rubbing my arm, to which he takes note.
Tucker, I know you've had a rough morning, but please, I think we should talk. I've been so worried about you, and I truly don't know how to help you anymore. From that awful thing that happened to your phone, to not being able to speak to you for a day, let alone about what occurred today. I could only figure out so much from the messages I got, but when I heard that the professor found you, I knew something was wrong, but I don't know what anymore. You have to tell me. I can't. I don't know how to make things right for you.
He reaches out for me, but his paw falls short. I know, Marrowyn. I'm sorry. You don't deserve that. I think. I think something's wrong with me.
Tucker, no. You're doing the best you can. No one would be able to function under these circumstances. It's unbelievable you've been asked that we've even asked that much of you.
No, not like that, Marrowyn. It's something I can't even understand myself.
Can you tell me more about it? I've got all day, a clear schedule and everything. For the most part.
I force myself to smile as I reach out and rub one of his massive fingers. Okay, I'll try. Let me just... I try and get comfortable, but the hard wall behind me offers no such pleasure.
Here.
He grabs the pillows off his bed and places them down, taking a seat next to me. It looks comfy, at least. Sitting next to him, I make myself comfortable and prepare to unpack everything. Somehow. Where do I even start? This might be a bit hard to explain, so forgive me if it sounds like I'm bringing up something random, but what did Tyler tell you about what he found when he found me this morning?
He said he found you alone wandering the sublevels, and that you told him something that couldn't be explained over a simple message. And he's tried explaining advanced theoretical physics to me before, so that was a bit worrying.
That or he didn't care to believe me. Well, he's partially right. It's probably best if you heard it from me. Marrowyn, I don't think I was in control of myself. I was going from place to place, and I thought I was headed to your lab, actually, but I wasn't. It felt like I was being led down towards the bottom of the ship, and then when I got there...
Yes?
I saw something. Something I've only seen in my dreams. It was strange and awful, and worst of all, Marrowyn, I could feel it. It grasped at me, pulling me like it was really there.
You've seen this creature before. Why haven't you brought that up? You know you can tell me anything.
That came out rather... Well, I'm unsure if affectionate is the right word. He almost sounded hurt as he said it. They would have. Please, trust me, I have, but... Marrowyn, I can't even remember that it had happened.
Huh? What do you mean? I know dreams can be fickle, but surely you remembered it if you're telling me now.
No, I didn't. Not at all. It was like my memory was jogged after seeing that thing. I could finally remember. This isn't even the first time something like this has happened.
Slow down. You're making your... Yeah, you've had memory loss issues. Before.
I guess, but not before coming here. Tyre reminded me of a time I zoned out, but really, it was like... something happened to me. Like I was being forced to forget.
But you can remember them now. These... things? What were they exactly? Besides the creature?
Visions? Poems? I can't remember them word for word, or much at all, really. Just how they made me feel. And what they did to me. With a frown on my muzzle, he kneeled, his paws in his lap, trying to come up with anything to say. Surely this can't be easy for him as a doctor, a patient with wild symptoms, and no clear cure. Although... hold on. Marrowyn.
Huh?
You haven't heard of anything like this before, have you?
No, of course not. That's why I'm so worried. No, not that I don't think we'll find a solution, just that I'm unsure as to what to go off of.
Well, I might have a lead.
Really?
Just when I told Tyre my symptoms, he froze up. He even started getting kind of defensive, too. I think he might know something. He sent you a list of medical stuff he wants you to do to me, yeah? Do you think that could give you any kind of lead?
Tucker... the professor... My father is a very complicated man.
I raise an eyebrow.
Okay, he's very, very complicated, but he'd never do anything that would make you suffer.
A rousing review, if nothing else, but he may be right. Tyre did seem worried this morning until then, downright regretful even. I knew he doesn't, not new, sorry. I know he doesn't want anything to happen to me, but... I don't know. Why does he have to be so secretive about everything? It just comes with his job, I guess.
I'll look over the list he sent me again, and if I see anything that would raise an alarm, I'll be sure to ask him about it. But, from what I scanned on my way here, most of it was pretty rudimentary. Like, even simple things like check your weight again. I know it may be hard to believe at times, but he does care about you. He's told me as much. He's just complicated.
He emphasizes his words with a small hand gesture. I suppose he's right, even if he has his own way of going about things. But that's what's complicated about caring for someone else. There are so many ways of showing it. But the question remains, does he care about you, Marrowyn Seno? I sigh and lean into his side.
Try not to worry about it, Tucker. I know that's hard, but it's the best thing you can do. When patients worry about their illness, it only gets worse. And hey, I'm here for you, and if my resume is anything to go by, I think you'll be just fine.
He gives me the biggest smile he can, and I offer a half-lidded and half-open grin. Although, his reaction is not what I would have expected. Is there something on my face? In a blur, his paws are on my cheeks, pulling my lips apart. He leans in desperately close, staring at something with blurry eyes. Marrowyn, can you, What, can you let go? That's what that says.
What happened?
What do you mean? I bat his arms away, somewhat only mildly upset with his brazen intrusion. And spitting out a bit of fur, I repeat myself, a bit more clearly this time. What do you mean? Inches away from my face, he decides shouting is still the best course of action.
Your tooth! You weren't always missing that one, were you?
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
You forgot?
Look, a lot happened this morning, alright? I was chased through a labyrinth and I saw like a weird specter of death. Honestly, losing a tooth was the least of my worries.
How did it happen, though? But, by the heart, I wish he had told me about this sooner.
Nothing much, really. When I was trying to run away from that creature, and I tripped and fell. Well, that happened a few times, actually. I must have knocked it loose.
Please tell me that humans can recover from this. It won't grow back, right?
Well...
Tucker!
It's not my fault. I was so out of it that it barely hurt when I pulled it out. Forget I said that part.
But
look, I still have it. Maybe you can reattach it. He looks aghast as I reach over and pull the bloody stump from my jacket pocket. So is that a no?
Even if I could, it's far too late. I'm sure the nerve damage is permanent. I could see about getting you a replacement. But without proper knowledge and testing of some kind of
an anesthetic, that's what that says.
It might not be worth the pain.
No, right. I place the tooth aside on my desk and turn back to him.
Well, I suppose I see why Tyre ordered all the x-rays. Are you sure it's alright? If you're still in pain, I could try and find something for it.
No, it's fine now.
Don't scare me like that. You've been roughed up enough as is. We don't need you getting any more damaged, okay?
No arguments here.
Good. I can't believe you lost a tooth.
Hey, don't laugh.
Well, sorry.
I grumble something under my breath, but he barely minds as he just smiles. Morrow, speaking of, can we talk a bit about what else I learned this morning?
Oh, what do you mean?
What Tyre told me.
What did he tell you?
Did he not? No, I guess it wouldn't really behoove him to explain to Morrow what he told me. It's not really abnormal behavior for him either, leaving out details like that. Well, after Tyre found me, we had a bit of a chat. He seemed rather intent on telling me what he could about the Mæron. That's what that says. I was a bit surprised, but I guess he saw the opportunity and took it.
Oh, well, that's information not many are privy to. What did he say?
Marrowyn, the door is closed. We're alone. Do you know more about the Mæron than you've been telling us as well?
Tucker,
Please, just tell me.
I am familiar with a few raw data and parameters for the previous tests. More so than I want to share with you and the rest. But the more
Wait, is this what? Exoteric? Esoteric? Is that what that word is?
Nature of its functions are still a mystery to me. And I'm sure they are to him as well.
So why didn't you tell us?
You have to understand. When I say that it's privy to some prior knowledge of it, when I was privy to prior knowledge of it, is nothing that could help you here. I simply run numbers on energy outputs and prepare for when new tests are being run. It's far less telling than you'd imagined. I don't even know how it produces its gravity field as is. Why? What did he tell you?
It's what he wouldn't tell me that worries me. He barely told me how he got to work on it, let alone how it works.
Well, like I said, I don't think anyone knows how it works. And if they did, they surely didn't survive the Icarot incident. And as to where it came from, I'm only aware it was some lion corporation that brought it to him.
All right. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't trust it.
You don't trust it? It's a machine, Tucker. It can't.
He sees the disdain on my face and stops himself. At least I think so.
Perhaps it has been behaving erratically recently.
I'd say that it bringing me here is a bit more than erratic.
You're right. I'm sorry. Either way, you shouldn't have to be afraid of it. Is there any way I can help?
Excuse me. Wow.
Help.
You could turn it off.
There are many reasons why I can't do that, let alone the fact that I still can't get close to it. Also, I know this is your first time in space, but trust me, you do not want to work on a zero-gravity station.
Oh, yeah, I think you mentioned that. I don't know. The idea of seeing you try and swim about sounds kind of cute. I try and cut myself off with no avail. He blushes and coughs into his fist. Smooth. Well, I guess I'm glad we're on such a prestigious station then.
Right.
Oh, speaking of, Marrowyn, the Sognus crew that's coming to inspect the Mæron. Tyre said they're close. Like arriving in 3 days close. You haven't happened to hear anything new about that, have you? He sighs and I furrow my brow. I guess I must have missed something during my day out.
I have some answers, but not ones that you are going to like to hear.
Oh?
Not because they're bad, mind you, but they're just so vague, and I know you'd prefer if things were more straightforward.
Is that truly so hard to ask?
Around here, sometimes. But, yes, I got a good look at the ship they were arriving on. It's small, only a cruiser, really. Usually manned by 3 or 4 members. So whoever's coming, they're probably alone. I'm going to assume it's not an investor, so it's probably just technicians. Honestly, I think people are worked up about this just because the ship is from the Mæron. I had even forgotten there was a research facility there until you brought it up.
Is that it? Still no names, though? Did Tyre didn't know, and I thought maybe you might.
Nope. If he doesn't know, I probably won't either.
Don't say that. You know more than he does about medicine. You should have seen how he floundered when he found me this morning.
Oh, well, yes, You
know the crew better, too. I'm sure you've spoken to them more than he has.
I'm not sure that's true.
You know how to make me feel better? Oh, listen. I'm just saying he probably doesn't know as much as you think he does.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but I see what you're doing, and thank you, Tucker. Don't worry, I don't think that little of myself.
But he does. All right, Morrow. I'm sorry, I appreciate what you've done for me. He takes a moment before responding, and I can only imagine it's either because he doesn't know what to say, or he doesn't trust what I've said. Thinking back on last we spoke, I can't say I blame him. Morrow. Can we talk about what happened? Actually, we probably... Here, I will end the part here, everyone. So I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.